Perfect. Good morning, everyone. First things first, hope you all had a lovely weekend and we're ready to trade today. Obviously, it's a big week. We know tomorrow we got the elections. So, first things first, we keep that in mind. There will be volatility, there will be nerves, there will be people waiting on the sidelines. When it comes to news, although we don't care about news because we trade via print, so we know what's going to happen before the news even comes out, we cannot forget that this week is certainly news driven. The stock market will certainly be reacting and waiting for the elections tomorrow, so let's keep that in mind. So, first and foremost, I'd like to say that this is not for any form of investment advice. This is for educational purposes only by Market Making Strategies. That is the name of the company. This is our first morning meeting. And what is the goal of the morning meeting? It's where we start looking at stocks that have the variables and the possibilities for us to set up a high percentage trade as we near the open. Now, obviously, as day traders, and for those of you who are day traders and have a day trading platform, you're able to see and trade stocks as early as 8 o'clock in the morning. That gives us a huge advantage. One, yes, we could trade with the MM, but number two, we get to see a lot of great prints and setups and volume. That gives us a huge insight into what we could see as the market opens. So with that being said, what is our first stock? The number one stock today is ADN. We do not care what ADN is as a company. We are basing our trading off prints and the variables that we require to create high percentage plays. So if we're looking at ADN, we will notice it has great range. This started off around $2 and it's already around $4.40. We keep that in mind because as a stock has now doubled in price or 100+% up, we can't be surprised if we see people taking profits. But what are we seeing instead? We are seeing huge building. We are seeing a lot of buying and interest in this stock. It has extremely good volume, as we can see, already at 16.7 million shares traded, and it's not even open market yet. And now we have established controlling prints at 4. It printed there around 3 times. It was around a 3 to 4 print personality, so kind of in line, but it's certainly building upon those. We need to make sure we see volume coming back in, and I'd like to see it trading 500,000 a minute plus. We want 2 to 3 print personality of short-term prints, so off level. That would mean anything that's not at a level, not at 380, 390, but maybe 392, 389, 412. Those are called short-term prints. Those are the ones that take the stock, and those are market makers that come in and say, this is going to move now. We are in money time. So that will be our number one stock. The buying at 4 has a conservative target of 450, but we know 5 is a psych number. We know that it printed at 4 3 times. So for them to build a position, taking it only to 450 wouldn't quite make sense for the work that they're doing. But either way, we will keep a 450, a conservative target, and 5 would be a possibility just based upon the attraction of a psych number. Number 2 is going to be DJT today. We know why Donald J. Trump stock has been very volatile this month, and that will continue considering we have elections tomorrow. We have seen a lot of short-term prints. I would assume that prints are going to take advantage of the volatility going into today and tomorrow and so forth. But we've also seen some nice big prints at 30. Those could just as easily be long-term. Someone sees the implications of the correct results tomorrow, moving the stock far further in the future. But we do have short-term, those who will be remaining on volatility. Please be extremely careful if you are to trade DJT. Smaller shares if you have to. Make sure you understand what's going on, the strategy, to make sure you got a high percentage entry. It will be a high level stock in my assumption, considering all eyes will be on it. Everybody will be in there. Market makers will use all the retail presence and play games. So please be careful. But that is the number 2 stock with the second most possibilities. Number 3, NLSP. NLSP started off with some prints and so forth. As you can see, the volume has completely waned out and gone dead. So there is not much we can do here. It would need a whole lot of volume and clarity in prints that it was looking to go into some form of price target or money time today. Apart from that, I have looked around. I've looked at STAF, which I'll just quickly pull up here as well. Now with STAF, it has had very clear building. I've been watching it since the morning and I see loads of buying, lots of building, but the volume does not say in any way that they're looking to do any trading upon that building, meaning that they want to take it to any price target today. So in order for that to then move towards a price target, let's say a conservative start to 4. Why do I say that? Because it showed how strong of a level 4 was after 8 o'clock. So we've got to keep that in mind and know that it's an extremely strong target. So our first target would be 4. We would need a lot of volume and it would need a very thin print personality because of the amount of build we have. We do not need to see build in volumes. If you start seeing volume with lots of building prints, it hasn't stopped the building process. If you see lots of volume with a thinned out print personality, then that is what it would look like if they were going to release this monstrous build that they've done all morning and take it to money time. With that being said, I would keep your first target at 4 because of how strong that level is. So those are the 4 that I see. Obviously, ADN is going to be taking up all our attention. Be smart, plan your trade. If you still are new and you are not sure how to, record it, follow along with what traders say, ask questions. Remember, it is a new company, but there's nothing wrong in following the prints and understanding how what we see printed now is the start of where it's going to go later on. The prints come before the move. With that being said, if anybody has any questions, please feel free to type it in the chat. Just remember, in ADN, the print personality so far has been 2 to 3 for it to move. Anything above 4, it builds upon. Keep that in mind. Does anybody have any questions for me? Please type it in. If not, let's get ready to trade. I'll give you guys a couple of minutes. Please let me know. Okay, well, that's our first morning meeting as market making strategies. Exciting times. And let's get ready to trade. Millen, you can turn it off. Thank you.